return again, return again, turn to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, turn to the land of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are born and reborn. Relive the joys of your fathers before you, dying with song of the land. On their lips they said, return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Yiratzon, Parshat Pinchas, HaLimud Yair Fuat, Tanya Bat Hoda Margalit, Yosef Yair ben Viva Chava, Rav Sivan ben Sima Betoch, Kol Shal Cholei Israel. Parshat Pinchas can be summarized in 4 circles. It begins with the story of Pinchas killing Cozbi and Zimri and receiving Kehunat Olam. That's story number 1. Story number 2 is the commandment for the Jewish people forever to remember to have a special hatred to the Midianite nation. The third circle is counting of the Jewish people in Perek Vav, and the final is the death of Moshe Rabbeinu. These 4 circles, says the Sfat Emet, in the year 1880, Smichut Parshiot Halalu. And basically the question of the Sfat Emet is, why are these 4 stories one after the other? Chronologically they're not linked. Conceptually they're all over the place. Suddenly like Pinchas and then hating the Midianites, that's a little bit connected, but like out of nowhere we're counting the Jewish people. We count them at the beginning of Bamidbar, we'll count them again in Dvarim. Why are we counting them here? And then suddenly the death of Moshe, but then we move backwards and it's not really the death of Moshe and we go into Matod and Maseh. So what's the idea of the link of these 4 Parshiot? Why are they one after the other? And says the Sfat Emet, the link between these 4 Parshot is one simple answer. Smichut Parshiot Halalu ha'inyan hu ki ata, at this moment in history, hetchil lihiyot hanhaga acheret. From this moment of Parashat Pinchas, we are transitioning from leadership A to leadership B. And because we're changing from leadership A to leadership B, it begins from the change from Aaron to Pinchas. Till this Parsha, Kehuna belongs to Aaron HaKohen. From this Parsha, and for the rest of the history of the Jewish people, Kehuna belongs to the descendants of Pinchas. So what's the difference between these 2 Kehunot? The Kehuna of Aaron versus the Kehuna of Pinchas. Says the Sfat Emet in such a sharp way. Mikodem, meaning in the Kehuna of Aaron, Haya lemala me'ateva. What does it mean, lemala me'ateva? What did Aaron do that you can say because of this action he became the Kohen? So there might be minor answers, but the real answer is because he was given a matana from Hashem. Aaron HaKohen became the Kohen not because he murdered Cozbi and Zimri, not because he did an action that transformed anything really different. He was not Moshe. He wasn't a guy who was chosen by Hashem as a decision from Hashem, as a present from Hashem. Lemala me'ateva. It wasn't a natural decision. It wasn't a natural ability. It was lemala me'ateva, above nature, separated from nature. V'lachen kiunat Aharon hayta matana mishamayim. Pinchas bedin zacha lekihunato. Pinchas was different. Pinchas received the kihuna because of an action that he did, and the word is not matana, but din. He did, and therefore received. He acted, and therefore got kihuna. He was not like Aaron. He was a very different, total opposite, antithesis to the kihuna of Aharon. If Aharon was a Kohen because of what he was given, Pinchas was a Kohen because of what he did. And so we see two types of leadership in kihuna. And so says the Sfat Emet in this idea of all four Parshot, it's transitioning from world A to world B. A world which you receive into a world where you must do. Till the Parsha of Pinchas, we are dealing with leaders that we can look up to guide us and lead us. But you have to see something great with the story of Pinchas. One of the greatest questions in the world. Moshe Rabbeinu is the smartest person in all of the history of the Jewish people. He knows all of halacha by heart. If anyone learned with like Rav Kook or Rav Soloveitchik, Moshe Rabbeinu was a little bit better, maybe a lot better. The guy knew what was going on. And there's a guy sleeping with a non-Jew. If I would present that question to anyone today, the answer will be that is prohibited. But why does Moshe not kill them? Why doesn't Moshe stand up and say, this is wrong? And you can give the other answers of why he couldn't kill them and different stuff. But at the end of the day, he could have got up and said, Pinchas, go kill, but he doesn't. Because Moshe is aware that we need today a new type of leadership. Not a dependent leadership, but an independent one. Pinchas must rise. The Jews must understand that the leadership of dependency is over. I will not solve the question. You must, Pinchas, stand up on your own and analyze the situation and make a decision and therefore earn the new leadership. And from there he develops, that's why Tzaroret HaMidyanim. The idea of Tzaroret HaMidyanim is Midyan fought against the Jewish people through lust. And Tzaroret HaMidyanim is not a command to the leaders but to the people. Not just that you have to fight them, but you have to fight personally inside yourself. Tzaroret HaMidyanim. You have to redefine your character. Don't just fight a war. Fight a war internally. Hate them. Hate the way that they do things, the lust that they create, the disconnection of family, that they just make a joke out of all the different family dynamics of the Jewish people. They make this person sleep with that person, this person sleep with that person. Hate them internally. I'm not only about fighting them. I want you to fight their idea within yourself. I want you to change you. And that's why they recount the Jews. Because we're starting a new leadership. And that's why it finishes with the Ptira of Moshe. Because the Ptira of Moshe was a symbol. Not of sadness, but of awareness. We lost Moshe Rabbeinu not because of we were on a lower level, but we needed to change. We needed to develop. We needed to reach the next level. About 2 years ago when me and Tanya were finishing a year in the old city, one of the students came up to Tanya and they said to her, Tanya, I'm checked out. So Tanya asked, what does checked out mean? So the girl explained, checked out means that I've accomplished all my goals. I came to Israel, I wanted to learn 1, 2, 3. I learned 1, 2, 3. I wanted to gain ABC. I gained ABC. And now I'm checked out. I'm finished. And on so many levels, Tanya tried to make her realize that anyone who thinks that the goal is to accomplish the goal will always fail tomorrow. The idea of Parshat Pinchas is to say we've gotten to greatness, but at this moment you have to let go of Moshe Rabbeinu. It says in Perek Bet in Sefer Breshit, Pasuk Kaf Hey, Al Ken Ya'azov Ish et Aviv ve'et Imo v'davak b'ishto v'hayu lebasar echad. You need to let go of the greatness of yesterday to make the opportunity of tomorrow. You have to have closure on where you were to take a step forward to where you can get to. Parshat Pinchas is saying the kihuna of Aaron was great and it finished. The leadership of Moshe was great and it finished. And the question for every single Jew is, are you aware of the opportunity, or are you reminiscing over the past? Our bracha to all of us in Parshat Pinchas, as we get closer into the yearning for Beit HaMikdash on Tisha B'Av, we should realize that we're not yearning for what was, but we're yearning to become Batei Mikdash. That if we can understand that what was has to be internalized in ourselves, that if you want a great home of Hashem, be a great image of Hashem. Only then can we start creating a real dream. And we should be zocheh, not to reminisce over what was, but to dream of what will be through the bridge of who we are today. Shabbat Shalom.